As you guys know, we have a Steelers show. Our favor is to the Steelers, but here in Ohio just passed their state budget, and a lot of taxpayer money is going to fund the new Brown Stadium. Paul lives here in Ohio. Joe, you're in Mississippi. You've got a lot of ties to Ohio. I don't know if you guys heard. I think it's like 60 million or 600 million going to the Brown.
600.
600 million. Guess how the stadium's going to get paid for? Last time it was syntax.
Oh boy.
So if you smoke or drank, you're paying for the stadium. Now it's unclaimed funds. So think about it. We've all lived in Ohio at various times of our life. Two of us live here in Ohio now. If you have unclaimed funds that you don't claim, you are paying for the stadium. How about that? Paul, have you
What if everybody claims their funds at once? And there's
yes. Maybe the Browns will move again. Here's the hope. So, I don't know. Paul, it was interesting. I checked that today because I'm like, man, I want to see some unclaimed funds here. I think I've got a little under $100 that might be coming my way. Now, I've got to fill out tons of paperwork. They'll probably take me 100 hours. Paul, have you ever checked your unclaimed funds? How much money you got out there?
I highly doubt I have unclaimed funds out there.
Okay. No, like previous.
Well, I don't have any of my own funds.
Oh,
so any funds that I have are technically unclaimed.
I had about 4 that they cited as like under $25. So if it's $24, maybe I have 100. If it's like 10 cents, maybe I have 40 cents coming my way. But
how would you like it if you lived in Cincinnati and your unclaimed money is buying the Browns a stadium?
Or us, we're fans of the Steelers. We don't want our unclaimed money going to fund the Brown Stadium.
It's your fault for living there.
Well, but living, I mean, I'm closer to Cleveland than you are. I mean, right. the region's going to benefit from this thing. I mean,
if you have some contracts.
Akron's going to benefit from that thing? From a new stadium, differently than the other stadium that will now just sit there empty?
Well, the thought is on the old stadium, they had very few non-football events. They had some concerts during the year. There wasn't a lot of them. The thought is, since this is kind of like a dome-like structure, you could put some more stuff in there. Is the thought.
Well, if they put it in Brook Park, that inevitably it's going to get rid of all those smut shops on Brook Park roads.
Yeah, there you go. Or maybe
that's a perfect plan. Then all the smut shops can go to the old stadium.
Well,
obviously, people in Northeast Ohio need their smut, and they must get it from somewhere. So
I've seen some comparisons of what's happening in Indianapolis, and with Lucas Oil Stadium where the Colts play now, they've hosted Taylor Swift concerts, they've hosted conventions. I know the Big Ten puts a lot of their conventions in Indianapolis for some reason. So, there's some money that could be coming in. I don't know. I'm not sure how much it is, but I don't know. I'm with Joe. I don't think it's going to single-handedly transform Cleveland and Ohio's economy and Brook Parks, but you never know. It does raise an interesting question. What happens to the old Cleveland Browns team? I have not heard a good answer to that yet.
No. There's no good answer.
Maybe
you put a new wing on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They keep adding people to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Eventually, you're going to run out of room in that place. You know what I'm saying?
Start going underwater.
Yeah. Start with like fish. Put fish out there, and I don't know, other aquatic themed.
Well, you could say that becomes like the Rock and Roll's concert venue, but it's a big stadium. It's not
huge.
Like a cool amphitheater. It's like,
and if you could use it as a stadium, as a concert venue, why don't you do that now?
Right.
Like, obviously, that's the problem they're having, is that people aren't holding enough things there. I bet you they'd hold a craft fair there, just like open it up. Like, isn't somebody's job to schedule stuff to go in there?
Yeah.
Presumably.
One thing they didn't take into account is that it is, I don't know if there's a worse stadium on the planet that is harder to leave than that stadium. That is a horrible spot.
Well, like
You've got to like pack a lunch, cross a bridge, go through a tunnel to get your car, and
you can't go north.
Well, in the new stadium way, you used to have stadiums with big parking lots around it. Now it's hip and handy to put your stadium in the middle of the city on a block. But then where do you park? You know what I mean? That's the issue downtown with the Cavs and the now the Guardian stadiums. I mean, where do you park at? I mean, last time I've been to there were the Indians at the time game. It was like $20-$30 a park for a game, and you had to walk blocks down the road, which is kind of creepy walking around downtown Cleveland. If it's a night game, it ends at 11.
Considering you're overpaying for the ticket, you're overpaying to park, you're overpaying for food. Why don't they also take away your unclaimed money? And increase your taxes on something? Good grief, what a scam. And then they put together some of the worst professional sports teams in recorded history.
Well, what's the vibe up? I mean, Paul, you don't live in Cleveland, but you live in that region. Is the vibe okay up there about that? Are people okay with unclaimed funds going to the new Brown Stadium?
I haven't heard rumblings about it yet. I know people are. I think people are coming around to the new stadium idea. I think initially there was pushback of they want it where the old one is, but I mean, looking at what the Haslams did for the Crew in Columbus, like just anyone who doesn't like the idea of the stadium, just go to lower.com field and just see how amazing that is. Let them build what they want to build. It's going to be amazing.
It's kind of gone as a lead balloon over in Columbus. I work for one of the ABC affiliate down there, and we've had a lot of stories going, what the heck? Why is unclaimed funds going for it? And we literally had a couple of stories where at the end we're like, here's the link to check your unclaimed funds. You might want to go do that. And from what we understand, people are following our lead and clicking that link.
Looking at the article that you had sent us, we're looking at a $2.4 billion dome stadium that they're planning to build. What we're talking about is $600 million coming out of a portion of $3.7 billion that the state has in unclaimed funds. So it's not like all the unclaimed funds from the state are disappearing for this thing. So people go find your unclaimed funds if you've got some. Go get it. There should be plenty.
And there's
your funds. And
there's a year deadline too. You've got a year to. So it's not like, hey, do it tonight or else. No,
right.
Here's my question: if they know they're your funds, why don't they just send you the check? Why do you have to jump through 20,000 hoops to get it?
Sometimes it is if somebody has moved, or that's a big one. If people have moved, if people haven't responded when they have reached out and said, hey, we need you to fill out XYZ in order to claim these funds, and people just don't follow up on it. Forget about it. They change relationship status, marital status, they move, they're in a different county, they're whatever else. And so there's just leftover money that hasn't been returned because they can't figure out how to get it to you. Don't have an accurate address. It's been returned when they've tried to send it out. So that money just sits there. And they're waiting for people to claim it. We've down here in Mississippi, we have the Office of the Treasurer, and literally he's held almost like rallies. It's almost like Antiques Roadshow or whatever. He's going around to different parts of the state and saying, hey, everybody from this part of the state, come over here because there are unclaimed money. I'm going to be in Tupelo. I'm going to be in Hattiesburg. I'm going to be on the coast. Like, come and show up and get your unclaimed money. But if people don't come and get it, at some point, you have to figure out what to do with this cash. You can't just sit there.
Yeah,
when you can use it for projects in the state.
Yeah, I looked at the link. Like, I tested a bank account like 10 years ago that I kind of closed, and when I did that, there was like two small, like $10 accounts that didn't come to me and stuff like that. So Joe's right. It could be anything. I mean,
And that's the other thing is that the unclaimed money is hundreds of thousands of cases at $10, and nobody's just people aren't going to go to all the trouble of taking a half day off of work to go into a federal courthouse to sign a paperwork so I can get $10. Like it's just not worth it. So it just sits there.
What and you see lately with these subscriptions, sometimes like Netflix, they'll be like, well, there was a class action suit filed against us. All of our subscribers get $5,
Mm-hmm.
And if you've canceled your Netflix, like a lot of people do, and you might change the email address on your plan so you can sign up on every email or whatever scam we pull
No,
off.
who would ever do that?
Yeah, everybody does. So what do you do? It's tough. So I don't know, but
glad they don't use it for something productive like homeless shelters or food banks. That would be
yeah. It is intriguing. Speaking of the Haslams, it's kind of funny. The crew they were about ready to move. The Haslams bought the team. They built a new stadium downtown. The old crew stadium is still out and it's serviceable. They do concerts there. They have some team practices there. It's called Historic Crew Stadium, which is kind of interesting. That's like little the name of the stadium.
Almost like a big facility that could be turned into a homeless shelter.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I could play Paul's game too.
Yeah. Well, they actually put a little bit of an artificial dome over there so they can practice during the winter. They actually had they have a really big rock festival with like popular bands from the 90s. There was 2 nights of Metallica. Get that. I mean, Metallica came like on a Friday and on a Sunday. And then Saturday, the main band was Linkin Park. So, hey, our high school bands came back, for us.
Their version of a G League team plays there.
Yeah. It's like Columbus Crew.
Well, now they could move to the old Brown Stadium.
Yeah, so they have rock concerts there. Not even just in the stadium. The parking lot becomes a venue. Like there's a circus coming there this weekend.
They still do circuses? I thought those were done.
It's like the Garden Brothers. I wrote a story about that for TV today.
I guess it's just no more animal acts, I guess.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's still a thing. It's probably like the Savannah Bananas of circuses or whatever.
Nice. It's going to be that big metal ball where people ride motorcycles around in.
Probably.
That's
we wrote a press release. I didn't really do too much else with it. And then also they have like a EDM. A guy I work with is a big EDM dance music, and they had some EDM festival there. He was telling me about. So yeah. No, he was down. I was kind of like,
cats and boots and cats.
Looks good.
Boots and cats.
Well, it was a rave. I mean, I should have told him about the Mississippi rave. Come on.
Oh, he can't handle the Mississippi raves.
Yeah, that's why he's just there. So, all right. So we don't want to give any of our money to fund the Brown Stadium, right?
No. But I'm not going to, so I don't have to worry about that.
Right. So I wonder if you're a Brown fan. Maybe you're like, great, I've got millions of unclaimed dollars. I'm not going to claim them. Let's go to Cleveland. If you're a Brown fan, why not? So, all right.
Well, why wouldn't you just claim your funds and then invest it and then put it into the Browns and
if you're a true fan, I mean, go for it. I will say one thing that concerns me: the Steelers are starting to talk about maybe it's time we take a look at a new stadium because their stadium's about 25 years. Yeah, well, in football, 25 years is like a 150-year-old person. They're like, oh, you're too old. What's going on? I can imagine the Steelers are probably going to go in the same direction as the Browns try to do. Because, again, it's all about having more events. I mean, how many events are at Acrisure Stadium? I mean, you've got 8 home games, 2 preseason, maybe a playoff game.
Pittsburgh Stadium's back to Three Rivers. They host concerts and have things happen there all the time.
Well, for some reason,
this is why I can't understand why Cleveland can't figure it out.
Yeah.
I think that could be said about so many things with Cleveland.
10 times at least a better stadium than the Browns. I mean, it's not even close.
Well, and also Acrisure too. They host Panthers stuff, so there's more events being held there with the Panthers. So who knows? Well, hey, if you're commenting please comment, give us a like and subscribe. Let us know what you think. What do you think about the Unclaimed Funds thing? Would you use your money to help the Browns? We won't, but if you're a Browns fan, what do you think? Let us know, and thanks as always for listening. Have a great day.